It's time to hear from our guest this week. Vincent Kounda has dedicated his life to the Congo River, but this gigantic African ecosystem is now threatened by industrial and domestic pollution, an obstacle to tourism and its economic development. Hence the choice of this artist to develop a holistic approach to the challenges of the river through an annual festival, both a scientific meeting and a festive event. The aim is to initiate a dialogue between decision makers while raising awareness among residents of the river. A few weeks before the 2023 edition, which is being held next month in Mwanda, in the west of the DRC, he spoke to Laurent Soustras and Thierry Schiller. Hello, Vincent Kounda. Thank you for joining us on Initiative Africa. Enhancing and protecting the Congo River is the mission you have set for yourself since 2011 with your association Congo River. So first of all, what's the current context of the Congo River?
Alors, le fleuve Congo, c'est un grand fleuve.
The Congo River is a big one, as you know. After the Amazon, it's the next most important river in the world in terms of energy potential.
Potentialité énergétique.
And it's the second longest river in Africa, after the Nile. In fact, the Congo River is the backbone of the DRC, since it crosses practically all the provinces of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And if it's not the river itself, it's all its tributaries. So it has a significant role because it serves as a means of mobility and cultural identity for the Congolese.
Ça sert de mobilité, ça sert d'identité d'ailleurs culturelle.
I think that it is a symbol for our nation as the one thing we share with 450 ethnic groups. It's the river. But today we have a problem of pollution, a lack of ecological awareness among the population, and the absence of an environmental management policy that puts this river in danger, because when its tributaries are polluted, these small rivers feed the main water stream. Then the small polluted rivers, well, they end up in the bigger ones. Then you have a big polluted river. So with the Congo River NGO, we want to celebrate this great river, this great world heritage. But we cannot honor a world heritage that is polluted. Hence, we are aiming to tackle this issue and the protection of this river with concrete actions. We can discuss those together.
What resources do you have for this agenda with your organization, Congo River?
Alors du coup, le travail est énorme. Nous devons aussi sensibiliser.
The project is huge. We must raise awareness among the public, and often the public needs more information and needs to be made aware, among other things, of their impact on nature.
Vis-à-vis à la nature, vis-à-vis aux eaux, parce que quand on jette.
Because when we throw away household waste, it often ends up in the river.
La destination souvent c'est les rivières, la destination souvent c'est le fleuve. Donc nous avons un festival.
So we have a festival where we ask artists and committed musicians to come in and celebrate the river, which really deserves to be celebrated, and raise awareness among the public to adopt eco-responsible behavior concerning our waterways. There are also other activities such as plastic fishing, where we work with fishermen to collect plastic bottles, because there is now more plastic in the river than fish. Because fish and other aquatic life can't thrive in a polluted water. When you fish, you find plastic inside. So we work together to collect these bottles and give them to companies that recycle plastic to give a second life to the plastic bottles. That's pretty much it.
Like you said, the source of this pollution of the Congo River is the pollution of the tributary rivers with plastics, mining activities. What can Congolese civil society do to tackle these issues?
Donc voilà, nous avons plusieurs sortes de pollution.
We have several kinds of pollution. We have plastic pollution, pollution from mining.
Par rapport à la pollution plastique, on a beaucoup de sociétés qui.
As to plastic pollution, we have a lot of companies that produce fruit juice, for example. And the packaging is just more plastic. There's such a huge amount of it. We need an adequate plastic recycling policy, as all these bottles end up in the gutters and rivers.
Dans les caniveaux et en direction du fleuve. Alors, dernièrement, même en décembre, nous avons
So recently, just last December, we had a situation where there were several deaths after the rains because the water couldn't flow properly. So the floodwaters killed more than 10 people.
La pollution industrielle. Nous avons aussi, parce que vous savez que le Congo, à l'est, nous avons des grandes...
And when it comes to industrial pollution in eastern Congo, there are big coltan and gold industries, and these mining companies sometimes dump their waste into the river.
Deux fois, ont tendance à déverser aussi leurs déchets sur le fleuve. Donc, nous tirons encore la sonnette d'alarme.
So we are still sounding the alarm for the decision makers to reinforce security in relation to this industrial pollution and ensure that companies act responsibly and implement their CSR agenda.
La responsabilité sociétale des entreprises. Parce que dernièrement, on a eu aussi encore en 2021...
Because, if I'm not mistaken, the Chishkapa River was polluted by an oil company in 2021. They dumped their waste and the whole river was transformed.
Et toute la rivière a été transformée. Il y avait des maladies parce que les populations riveraines...
People living along the river caught diseases and developed skin problems because they used the river for washing and drinking.
Tout ça auprès de populations. Donc vraiment, nous demandons...
We ask the government because we can only turn to the government and ask it to use its authority so that the industries respect their social responsibilities.
Sociétale puisse être respectée auprès des industries.
Vincent Kunda, you're also an artist. How did you come up with the idea of defending the Congo River?
Alors, voilà.
So here goes. I'm basically an artist. I always wanted to create a music festival. To begin with, I wanted to organize a Latino music festival.
Festival de musique latino, parce que vous savez que la musique congolaise...
Because, you know, Congolese music is the music that went from Africa to the West Indies with the deportation of the Africans. It went to the West Indies and it came back in the form of salsa and so on. But the rhythms, all that comes from Africa. That's what they say.
Alors j'avais voulu faire un festival dans ce sens-là.
So I wanted to create a festival to highlight this. Then one day I was eating with some friends along the Congo River, which is impressive. I imagined a stage around and a festival along the river. And I said to my friends, we have a great river, this great Congo River. If we could showcase the river and celebrate it, it would be great.
Ça serait une très bonne chose. Et c'est parti de là.
And that's how it began. The idea took root. As we worked on the idea, we quickly understood the issues linked to this river, including the environmental issues, the ecological issues, and even the economic issues, because we could create a whole economy around the river. After all, there is transport. We can develop transport that can give jobs to private individuals by introducing fast boats to help them commute. The river can also feed the Congolese because there are so many fish. We have small-scale fishing, but we can develop industrial fishing, which will serve to feed the Congolese, which would be useful.
Et ça peut servir encore, ce fleuve-là peut servir de tourisme.
The river can be used for tourism. We can develop hotels and barges like you see elsewhere around the river.
Autour de ce fleuve, donc vraiment il y a des enjeux.
There are real substantial economic stakes around this river. Not to mention energy, because it is the second largest river in the world in terms of energy potential.
On parle développement, industrialisation.
And development and industrialization can't happen without energy. And this river, again, gives us the possibility of having clean energy, because it's not nuclear or fossil energy. It is clean energy. So when we understood all these issues, we thought it can't just be a music festival aspect. There also has to be a scientific framework where we deal with these issues for the socio-economic good of the Congolese and Africans, as this can be a great asset to all Africans.
But still, one of the original features of your event is this festive and joyful musical tone which you have kept quite present in your approach. How is that being translated in your work?
Alors, nous pensons que la musique a une
Music has strength. Art, in general, has impact because we also work with actors. We also work with painters.
Nous pensons que ça a une force et nous pouvons
It has impact, and we can easily reach the public through the strength of art and culture.
De l'art et de la culture.
So there are many issues at stake. You said environmental, economic and cultural. How does the Congolese population react to that? What do the inhabitants of the Congo River really want?
Alors, beaucoup de Congolais
Many Congolese needed to know the potential of this river, and if you come to Kinshasa, you will see that the city has the river on its back.
Que la capitale donne le dos au fleuve. Et il y a des Congolais qui ont grandi.
And there are some Congolese who have grown up without ever taking a walk along the river, which is a shame.
Et quand nous parlons de la richesse de ce fleuve,
and when we spoke of the wealth of this river, the importance of this river, we were amazed to see the enthusiasm. We launched a poetry competition for young people called In the Winding Course of the Congo River. We did it on social networks and were surprised to see over 10,000 students submitting poems about the Congo River.
Pour le fleuve Congo, mais on avait retenu que 5 poèmes, mais
from which we selected only 5. But this experience taught us that the Congolese might need to know more about this river, and we are glad to provide information about the river.
Qui donne l'information sur ce fleuve-là, parce qu'il faut aussi noter que
because sources of fresh water today are becoming increasingly vulnerable.
Qui devient de plus en plus vulnérable. Donc, le Congo représente 57%.
And the Congo represents 57% of freshwater reserves of the entire African continent. This is enormous. So we have to be conscious of maintaining its quality and quantity. We are raising awareness among the population, especially among young people, because we say that young people are the decision makers of tomorrow. We have many activities for young people, including the poetry competition.
Le concours de poésie, et avec une ONG suisse,
and with a Swiss NGO, we are organizing actions in Congo where there is participatory research training with young people and non-scientists. We teach them a little about the Congo's water system, its acidity levels, and many other things. And like I said, young people are tomorrow's decision makers and must be made aware of this at the grassroots level. So it's indeed a grassroots awareness campaign.
In some countries like Nigeria, NGOs have quickly taken polluting companies to court. Do you see this awareness raising in the Congo leading to local associations and the Congolese population becoming more aggressive on these issues?
Nous pensons que nous devons aller dans ce sens-là.
We think we must head in this direction because today the lack of ecological respect is killing people.
Nous sommes une force, nous pouvons changer les choses.
We are a united force. We can change things, but we need an environmental policy for waste management.
Une politique environnementale de gestion de déchets. Vous savez, Kinshasa, c'est plus de 15 millions.
Kinshasa has more than 15 million inhabitants. For a city, a mega city with more than 15 million people living in it without a waste management policy, well, it's a disaster.
Donc nous sommes là en tant que société civile.
We are here as a civil society to sound the alarm.
Mais si il faut aller en justice contre toutes ces sociétés.
But we are ready to take companies to court because this is about human lives. And if we have to go to court, then I call on all the NGOs to unite and see how to work together to raise people's ecological awareness.
C'est un civique écologique.
Vincent Kounda, thank you very much.
Merci à vous.